friends, good afternoon and welcome to EduSat Live Lectures. Dear friends, today in World Geography Through Maps, we will be discussing about Europe. To discuss this topic, we have with us our subject expert, Dr. B.W. Pandey. Dr. Pandey is Associate Professor in Department of Geography in Delhi School of Economics, University of Delhi. Without further ado, I would like to welcome Sir to our studios and request him to start the lecture. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Amrit. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, friends. Today we are going to discuss World Geography Through Map, and today I will cover Europe continent, its physical, political, ecological, cultural and socio-political aspects of Europe continent. And in this sequence, first of all, I would like to mention, if you see the Europe continent, physically Europe continent, it is its shape like a peninsula. Therefore, it is known as peninsular continent. Due to peninsular effect, large land mass of the Europe continent largely affected by maritime effect. Perhaps this is the only continent which is affected by maritime effect throughout the year, because three sides surrounded by ocean: Arctic Ocean in the north, Atlantic Ocean in the west, Mediterranean Sea in the south, also covering the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea. Friends, due to maritime effect and also the effect of the westerlies, Europe continent have unique climatic condition. Due to its unique climatic condition, the northern part of Europe having rainfall throughout the year with mild temperature. Southern part of Europe rainfall mainly during winter season because of Mediterranean effect, because of Mediterranean climate. Therefore, the economic activities, social parameters, human development index, agricultural index for Europe continent is very high. So, in the last lecture we had discussed Africa, and you found that in Africa continent, because of extreme climatic condition, either too hot or too wet, they are very poor condition, countries are developing in third world. While Europe continent, because its maritime effect, very suitable climatic condition, mild and humid throughout the year, Europe continent have very high development, level of development, human development, economic development, social development, and also there is a well maintained ecological system, forest resources, rivers. And because of humid climate throughout the year, Europe continent have large number of perennial rivers, long size of rivers. And I would like to mention that if you see the map, this is the only continent having maximum area under plain. So, more than 60% land of Europe is plain. Therefore, central and southern part of Europe, there are plateau and mountains. Northern part of Europe are plain except Scandinavian, Norwegian coast. Because of the plain areas, rivers drain in such a manner that rivers are highly useful for navigation. Friends, it is Europe continent where almost all the rivers are navigated, almost all the rivers are interlinked, developed by canals. Even the cities which are interior of the continent, there have been port, inland port, river port like Paris, and many other cities in Germany. Throughout the river Rhine, there are number of river ports, dozen of the river ports in France, in Germany, in Poland, and many other countries. So, this is the background, and then first of all I would like to mention the physical and political map. So, as a physical map, you can see European peninsula, though entire continent is the shape of peninsula. Beyond that, there are a number of minor peninsulas, and I would like to mention those peninsulas, and then we will see the superimposed with the political map. You can learn easily the peninsula and the countries located on this peninsula. So, this is number 1 is Apennine Peninsula. Apennine Peninsula. Number 2, this is called Spanish Peninsula, also called Iberian Peninsula. Number 3, this is called Brittany Peninsula. Number 4, this is Jutland Peninsula. Number 5 is Scandinavian Peninsula, and number 6, this is Kola Peninsula. Now, with the help of the political map, now you can find which are the countries located on these peninsulas. So, Apennine Peninsula, you can see this is Apennine Peninsula, where the country is Italy, a small country San Marino, and within the Rome, the smallest country in the world, you can say Vatican City. So, Italy, Vatican City and San Marino located on the Apennine Peninsula. Then we see the Iberian Peninsula. On the Iberian Peninsula, countries are Spain and Portugal. Spain and Portugal on the Iberian Peninsula. Third, this is Brittany. Brittany Peninsula is a part of France. Then Jutland Peninsula. Over Jutland Peninsula, just north of the Germany, Jutland Peninsula, this is the country all together, group of the islands of the mainland, the Denmark. So, Denmark located on Jutland Peninsula, and Scandinavian Peninsula. The Scandinavian, its peninsula, the 2 countries on the peninsula of Scandinavia, Norway and Sweden. But when we say Scandinavian countries, so it includes Norway, Sweden, Finland and Denmark, also Iceland. This is geographical area, and all these countries altogether known as Scandinavian countries. So, Scandinavia, when we include Finland, it is called Finno-Scandinavia. Then this is a Kola Peninsula. Kola Peninsula lies in Russia. These peninsula and these water bodies provide the easy accessibility to the sea. So, impact of water bodies, interior of the land, the stretch of the water like Baltic Sea, North Sea, Gulf of Bothnia, Gulf of Finland, these provides easy accessibility to the sea, and maritime culture, mariculture that enhance the trade, economic development, fisheries, all that. That makes the Europe continent very, very prosperous and rich. Apart from this peninsula, so we discuss first the countries, and because of the effect of the peninsula, most of the countries of Europe continent having sea coast, except a few like Switzerland, Liechtenstein, Luxembourg and Andorra. Few countries in Europe continent or landlocked I would like to mention. This is Switzerland, and this country, small country called Liechtenstein. And for Liechtenstein, I would like to mention, to show you, this is the map of the Liechtenstein. It is lies between Switzerland and Austria. Liechtenstein is a country situated between Switzerland and Austria. Very small country, Liechtenstein. Then Switzerland, Liechtenstein, and then you find the country Luxembourg. This is Luxembourg, though it is landlocked among the countries like France, Belgium and Germany, though it is well connected to the sea through the rivers, through the canals. Therefore, being landlocked, there is no landlocked effect in Luxembourg. It is a very rich country. Then this is the country called Andorra, lies between France and Spain on the Pyrenees mountain. So, this is Kingdom of Pyrenees, Andorra country. Except these countries, all the countries of Europe continent having sea coast, and these countries are known with its regional name. The group of the countries is a form in the regional name. So, I will go first to name of the countries, then I will take the regions. So, beginning from Italy, France, and between the France and Italy, there is a small country called Monaco, but this is a kind of coastal country. Then you find Spain, then Portugal. We come to the Bay of Biscay, again Spain, passing to the Spain to France, passing the Brittany Peninsula, enter in English Channel, passing English Channel, Dover Strait, then enter in North Sea. After France, the country Belgium, then Netherlands. Friends, Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg, these countries, its major part of these countries are below sea level. Therefore, Netherlands, Belgium, Luxembourg altogether known as lowland countries. Netherlands, earlier called as Holland, it is lowland. So, Holland, Netherlands, the country of dikes. People claimed the land by discharging the water of the sea, and they occupied the land from the sea. Netherlands, then Germany, and above Germany is Denmark. Passing through this, Poland, then there is a detached land of the Russia, Kaliningrad region. Then you find Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia. These three countries, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, lying along the coast of Baltic Sea. Therefore, these three countries known as Baltic states: Estonia, Latvia and Lithuania. These are Baltic states. Then there are Scandinavian countries: Norway, Sweden, Finland, and then the largest country of the world, largest country of Asia, largest country of Europe continent is Russia. Then these are the countries in the Western and Northern Europe. Then come to the Central Europe. Central Europe, there are many countries of Central Europe which are landlocked. You found in the Western Europe, Northern Europe, only few countries like Switzerland, Liechtenstein, Andorra, there are few, Luxembourg, few landlocked countries in the West. But in the Eastern Europe and Central Europe, we have number of landlocked countries like Czech Republic, Czech, Slovak, Austria, Hungary, and you find the Belarus, and south of Belarus, this is Ukraine. Friends, Belarus, Ukraine and Moldova, these three countries were detached from USSR, from Russia. After the division, these countries separated from Russia, USSR. Then you find the Yugoslavian countries. Yugoslavian countries, the country Yugoslavia, which divided into almost 7 countries. Then you find countries like Croatia, Slovenia, number 1, number 2, Croatia, number 3, Bosnia Herzegovina, number 4, Montenegro, number 5, Macedonia, number 6, Serbia, and again Serbia divided. So, northern Serbia became another country, southern Serbia another country. This way, all these countries all together, there were one country, these are all was one country as Yugoslavia. Now, Yugoslavia divided into 7 parts. Then in the east, you find Romania, Bulgaria, and Albania. So, Albania, Bulgaria in the south are the Greece. Friends, these countries including Greece, Albania, Macedonia, Bulgaria, these countries also having a peninsula, and these peninsular countries also the same name of the mountain like Balkan Peninsula, the Balkan Mountains, and therefore, the Greece, Albania, Macedonia, all these countries altogether known as Balkan states. So, 2 regional names sounds very much similar. I would like to make it clear. One is Balkan states, that includes Greece, Albania, Macedonia, Bulgaria. Other one is Baltic states, and among Baltic states there are 3 countries: Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania. So, Balkan states have 4 countries, Baltic states have 3 countries. Then, after this location map of the political map, there are number of countries which are island countries. Island countries mainly as a map of the Europe continent, you can see there is Iceland and there are British Isles. Among British Isles, there are two countries, one is Great Britain called UK, other one is Ireland. Now, I would like to mention that among the British Isles, this is British Isles, there were 4 kingdoms. The largest one is Britain, that is also called England. So, if you say the cursor, this is the boundary, this is the area of England or Britain. This is the largest territory among the British Isles. Number 2, Scotland, northern part of the British Island, there is Scotland. Third, the Kingdom of Wales. Number 4, Kingdom of Ireland. So, these 4 kingdoms became united and known as United Kingdom. Later on, Ireland further divided into 2 parts. So, Northern Ireland is a part of UK and Southern Ireland it became an independent country. So, now Ireland itself in 2 parts, Northern Ireland is part of UK and main Ireland, the Southern Ireland, this is an independent country. So, still in UK there are 4 kingdoms: England, Wales, Scotland and North Ireland. Altogether this is called UK, and Britain become Great Britain because of United Kingdoms. It is called UK. Then after British Isles, then you find Iceland. This is another independent country in the part of the Europe continent, and the Iceland lies on the mid-Atlantic ridge in the northern part of Atlantic Ocean. Friends, after this discussion of political map, we will see its economic map, mainly the ports. So far we have discussed Europe continent, its physiography and its peninsular effect, climatic effect, and we discussed the countries, location of the countries, coastal countries, peninsular countries. And regarding this, if you have any question, any query, you are most welcome. Thank you. Hello friends, today I am going to discuss detail of the Europe continent, the map of Europe continent, discuss geography through map, and in this sequence I would like to mention the important ports. You know, Europe is a continent which is affecting the entire globe. Global economy, global trade done through the sea routes, and this continent has developed the sea routes in the world. Explorations of the other continents, explorations of the sea routes, and then I would like to mention the rivers and how rivers are playing a key role in economic development, mainly for transportation, hydropower, and the interlinking the countries. From one country to other country, rivers are linked with canals. There are so many canals in Europe continent. Before that, first of all, we will discuss the important ports, mainly international seaports. For this, we begin from southern part of Europe, sequentially, right from the Italy, from Apennine Peninsula, Italy. The most important ports in the Italy, you can see in the Mediterranean Sea, there is the Rome and Naples. Rome and Naples. Another one is Genoa port in the Ligurian Sea, and Venice in the Adriatic Sea. Friends, Venice is the city which is developed in sea, in Adriatic water, Adriatic Sea. And because of Mediterranean type of climate, there are well developed horticulture, mainly viticulture. Horticulture includes production of fruits, flowers and vegetables, called truck farming. When you talk about viticulture, viticulture is mainly production of grapes and manufacturing wine, called viticulture. So, well developed viticulture in the cities like Turin, Milan, Genoa, Florence, Rome and Naples. These are well known cities for viticulture and production of grapes. Then France. France having a unique geographical location. Friends, I do like to mention that in southern part of France, having the coast of Mediterranean Sea, and with the help of Gibraltar Strait and in the west and the Suez Canal in the east, this country is well connected through the sea routes around the globe. In the west coast, there are Bay of Biscay, part of the Atlantic Ocean, and in the north, English Channel, Dover Strait and the North Sea. Friends, France having these geographical locational benefits, it has a number of international seaports, I would like to mention in the south, Marseille in the south, that is in the Gulf of Lions, in the Mediterranean Sea, Bordeaux, the port, which is very famous for the wine. It is a wine port, Bordeaux, and Nantes, city of Brest, Le Havre, Rouen, and Paris. These are major ports. Paris, no doubt, it is in the interior, but it is a major port in the river Seine, Rouen and Paris. Similarly, other cities like Metz, Nancy, Dijon, Orleans, Tours, Angers, Lyon, these are the cities linked with the sea through the rivers and canals, while city of Toulouse and Montpellier, they are well connected through the Midi Canal, called Canal de Midi. In Spain, along the coast of Mediterranean Sea, the major international seaport is Barcelona. Across the Gibraltar is Cadiz, and in the Bay of Biscay there are Gijón and Oviedo. Gijón and Oviedo. In Portugal, Lisbon and Oporto. Lisbon and Oporto are the two major ports. Friends, like Bordeaux in France, Oporto, which is situated on the river Douro, Oporto is also wine port. Then coming to Belgium, the Antwerp is the major port of Belgium, though Ghent and Brussels are also linked with canal through the sea, but Antwerp is the major port. In Netherlands, Rotterdam and Amsterdam and Den Haag, that is called Hague. Rotterdam, Amsterdam and Hague are the major ports in Netherlands. Regarding Rotterdam, Rotterdam lies in the delta of river Rhine. Delta of river Rhine. Friends, Rhine is a river which originates from the southern mountains and it drains out from Switzerland, Germany. Also its tributary linked with the France, Luxembourg, Belgium and Netherlands. Now, see the countries: Switzerland, France, Germany, Luxembourg, Belgium and Netherlands. All these countries use river Rhine for inland navigation, and in the delta of Rhine is the port Rotterdam. Therefore, Rotterdam known as Europort, because many countries of Europe continent having international trade with Rotterdam. Therefore, Rotterdam is known as Europort. Then in Germany, the seaports like Bremen, Hamburg and Kiel. Bremen, Hamburg and Kiel. while river Elbe, river Weser, river Rhine running in such a way that entire Germany linked with these rivers and canals. Friends, right from Berlin to Bonn, interconnecting river Elbe, Weser and Rhine. These rivers and the cities like Berlin, Hanover, Dortmund, Essen, Cologne, Bonn, these are all linked with canal known as Maitland Canal. Maitland Canal connects Berlin to Bonn. Maitland Canal connects rivers Elbe, Weser and Rhine. Therefore, you can see the cities which are interior in the country, but they are well connected with the sea through the rivers, like river Rhine. River Rhine, in the catchment of the river Rhine, you can find the cities like Nuremberg, Stuttgart, Frankfurt, Bonn, Cologne, Essen and Dortmund, Bochum. Friends, they right from Stuttgart, Nuremberg, Frankfurt, Bonn, Cologne, Essen, Bochum and Dortmund, all these cities lying in the basin of river Rhine, and in Germany river Rhine basin is very rich in iron ore and coal, limestone. Friends, because of ingredients of the iron and steel industry found locally, river Rhine, popularly known as Ruhr, river Ruhr basin, and these cities, because of steel having its technology, so have sequential industries from steel to automobile, and Germany is one of the leading countries in the world in the field of automobile, and the Stuttgart, Frankfurt, Bonn, Cologne, Essen, Dortmund, Kassel, these are all automobile city, and all these are linked to the North Sea through the Rotterdam by river Rhine. Then Denmark, this is the country, ferry country, having number of small islands, and these islands are linked with the ship, with the ferry. Then in Poland, Warsaw in the river Vistula, it is the inland port, while in this coastal area Gdansk and Gdynia, they are the major ports. In Russian detached one, Kaliningrad is the port city, then Baltic states have seaports, and while in the western part of the Russia, St. Petersburg, earlier it was called Leningrad, St. Petersburg the major port in the Gulf of Finland, and in Russia on the Kola Peninsula is Murmansk port. Friends, at this latitude, this is the frost area. If you go to the eastern part of Russia, on the same latitude is permanent frost, but being the north of Arctic Circle, you can see this is Arctic Circle, this dot line, and Murmansk port lies north of the Arctic Circle. Even then, it is all weather port. This all weather port because of the Norwegian warm current. this region well covered with the warm current. So, it remained open throughout the year. Then Norway and Sweden. In Sweden, Stockholm, Malmö, Stockholm, the largest port of Sweden, Malmö and Helsingborg, Göteborg, they are major ports in Sweden. And in Norway, Oslo, Bergen and Bodo in the north, Hammerfest. Friends, the northern part, the Norway, lies north of the Arctic Circle. Therefore, in the summer season, hardly there is half an hour night, almost 23.5 hours a day. Friends, you know, in the midnight at 12 o'clock, at 2 a.m., at 11:30 p.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m., midnight you can see the sun. That is why Norway known as land of midnight sun. Norway, land of midnight sun. Then coming to the southern part and eastern part of Europe, there are few important ports in Black Sea called Odessa. This is the port of Ukraine, and also little part of Turkey lies in Europe continent. Istanbul is the major city, major port of Turkey. Friends, entire Europe continent or developed continent, but Turkey is little developing nature. Therefore, this part of Turkey known as sick man of Europe. Sick man of Europe. Turkey, major part of Turkey lies in Asia continent and minor part lies in Europe. So, it is Eurasian country like Russia, Turkey. Then in the Greece, Athens is the major seaport, and then Yugoslavian countries lying on the sea coast having many seaports. Friends, after this I would like to show you once the physical map and can find which are the important rivers and their importance. So, the most important fact I would like to mention, you can see here, in the north drains river Rhine, in the south river Rhone. Along the Rhone and Rhine, these are the longest rift valley, fault valley of Europe continent. This is known as Rhine-Rhone rift. Rhone-Rhine rift, and this fault developed in such a manner that from the central mountains that Rhine fault drains northern slope and Rhone fault drains southern slope. Rhine and Rhone are nearest at the city near the boundary of France and Germany. The city known as city of Maine. So, Maine situated on both the bank of river Rhine and Rhone, and Rhine and Rhone are linked with the canal passing through the Maine. Therefore, it is also very famous called Maine Canal. Then in France, see the rivers in the France. In the north, river draining, river Seine, while this is river Rhine draining northward, Seine, river Loire, river Garonne, and river Rhone. Friends, all these rivers are interlinked, and the city situated along the in between these rivers, they are situated along the canal and they are well navigated. River Garonne and Rhone are linked with Midi Canal. This is called Canal de Midi or Midi Canal. Then this is the longest river of Europe continent called Danube, river Danube, and I would like to mention you that this is the river passing through 7 countries and having 5 national capitals along with river Danube. So, river Danube originates from Switzerland, it passes through Germany, passing through Germany, then it enters in Austria, where the first national capital is Vienna. Then it enters in Slovakia, its capital Bratislava on river Danube. Then it enters in Hungary, and the capital of Hungary, Budapest. Then river Danube turns southward, it enters in Serbia, Kosovo, Serbia, and it's a Belgrade capital situated on river Danube. Then from Serbia it enters in Romania, its capital Bucharest, and finally from Romania it drains in Black Sea. Friends, this is a kind of indicator you can find that one river passing through 7 countries and there is no conflict. Among all the countries, the river have same name, unlike the developing countries like South Asia. I would like to mention here, in South Asia, there is one river passing through 3 countries and known with 7 different regional names: river Sangpo, river Brahmaputra, river Dhiang, river Siang, river Jamuna, river Padma, and river Meghna. So, one river having 7 names in 3 countries. Here in Europe continent, one river passing through 7 countries have only one name, Danube, and having 5 national capital located on the bank of river Danube. I would like to mention this capital again. Number 1 is Vienna, that is Austria. Number 2, Bratislava, that is Slovakia. Number 3, Budapest, that's Hungary. Number 4, Belgrade, that is in Serbia, Kosovo region, and finally the Bucharest in Romania. So, Danube is the longest river, and now I would like to mention that you can see the physical map, the Danube and river Rhine. Now, see, this is river Danube draining in the east, and here is river Rhine draining in the northwest. Friends, now Rhine Danube Canal, these 2 rivers have been interlinked. Rhine and Danube are interlinked. Now you can see the importance, that a ship passing from North Sea now can enter in Europe continent, crossing through the river Rhine, through the river Danube, and can easily enter in Black Sea. This way most of all the rivers of Europe continent are well linked with. Apart from these physical and political map, now I would like to mention you the importance of the British Isles and the ports of the British Isles. You can find that in the 19th century and 20th century, most of the industries were developed in the interior, like London, like interior Birmingham, Sheffield, Glasgow. Friends, in the end of the 20th century and now in 21st century, most of the mineral resources of the interior of the Europe of the British Isles in UK exhausted. Therefore, most of the industries today based on imported raw material. Therefore, the policy have changed. The location of industries have changed. The industries which were in the interior of the country are now located in the port based. So, there are interport trading, port based industries. You can see on the map right from the right see that in total in this is Scotland, and in the Scotland the west coast, apart from the Glasgow, Motherwell, Greenock, Paisley, these are all satellite towns of Glasgow, and industries developed along the coastal area. While along the eastern part of the Scotland, there are Aberdeen, Dundee and Edinburgh. Aberdeen, Dundee and Edinburgh, they are major industries and ports along the eastern slope of Scotland. Then in England, eastern coast of England, the major ports and the industrial cities are Newcastle, Southfield, Sunderland, Hartlepool, Stockton, Middlesbrough and Kingston. In the south, find the Plymouth, Portsmouth, and in the west, find Bristol, Cardiff, Swansea, Manchester, Liverpool. Friends, earlier these industries were developed in the Leeds, Derby, Birmingham and other cities. So, there is impact of globalization, and that begins from British Isles, UK. Friends, this way we had covered the physical map, political map. I also discussed some industries, importance of industries, the city, port cities and its trade impact. So, I would like to conclude. Any question, any query regarding the map of Europe continent, I will be happy to reply you. Thank you very much.
On that note, I would like to thank sir for this very interesting discussion, and I hope that you, my dear friends, that you have found this lecture very enlightening. On that note, I would like to thank you, dear friends, for watching our show. Stay tuned and keep watching. Thank you.